Yeah, managers exist to grow the cake for the artist by more than the size of the slice they take away. The job is that difficult and that simple. The day that you stop adding more than you're taking away is the first day towards getting fired, and rightly so. The other way that I always describe a manager's role is that managers exist to do what artists either can't do for themselves or don't want to do for themselves. So every manager-artist dynamic is completely different. If you're managing Britney Spears, the things that she can't do for herself or doesn't want to do for herself are find corporate endorsements, find songwriters, stylists, choreographers. If you're managing Paul Kelly, I presume you haven't done a lot of employing choreography
Not
for him
much
lately.
Choreographers.
Yeah. He does his own moves, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And his own makeup.
And his own makeup and his own perfume line. He doesn't need you to help with that.
Working on that.
So
Done everything else other than the perfume.
So the manager-artist dynamic, I always sort of say to people to try and imagine it as being like one of those hippie yin-yang symbols, the black and white line within a circle, where the manager and the artist kind of define for themselves what are the things that you need me to take care of on your behalf. So the manager's role begins with a profound understanding of what the artist needs, and then you seek to become the kind of the mirror image, the complement that can help fill the gaps for them.
Kate's crowdsourcing campaign.
I was trying to not reveal who the artist was.
A hypothetical artist, let's call it Kate.
Hypothetical artist that may or may not have done a record-breaking crowdsourcing campaign. That seems to be a very big trend that's going around in the music industry, especially in Australia at the moment. But the campaign, Kate's campaign, broke all of those records. What do you think was it about that campaign that really appealed to its fans?
I mean, there's an example of an artist wanting different things. So on the budget side of things, Kate was like, she trusts me and doesn't want to know about it as long as she knows that it's not going to lose money. When it comes to social media, she is phenomenal. Yeah. And that's where the crowdfunding campaign works. She interacts constantly with her audience. She answers every single direct message on Twitter, which is probably 50 a day. Same with Facebook, and she just has this great connection with her fans.
The number one mistake that I find young bands and young managers make is they think that there is some Wizard of Oz industry character who's going to swoop down out of the clouds, knock on the door of their bedroom and say, "I hereby anoint you a star." It would be really lovely for that to happen, but it ain't gonna. Instead, get out there and face your audience and grow your fans one at a time. Not only will it be more effective, but it'll also allow you to feel like you're getting somewhere. If you define success as being a high rotation ad on Triple J, just say, and you're a band going along, you might go 3 years without getting that. That's over 1,000 consecutive days of failure. Whereas if your definition of success is growing your Facebook likes or growing your Twitter followers or whatever, however you're growing your live audience, growing your Beatport plays, then every day you can have a little win, and that's motivating for you. And you measure your wins, you'll see when you're winning more, that's a sign you're doing the right thing. So that crowd-facing thing that Bill's talking about with Kate, that's the way of the future. That's 21st century artists. Don't be boring. Anything that you do, old school manager guy, John Woodruff, used to have this fantastic line. He'd sit down with artists when he first started managing and say, "It's really simple. You're in charge of fascination. I'm in charge of bullshit." I've always loved that line. I think it's really true. And so you're in charge of fascination in the first instance. And you can be fascinating in the songs you make. You can be fascinating in the way you stage your live shows. You can be fascinating in the blog you write. You can be fascinating in, the covers you put up on YouTube. Listen to the audience. Pay attention to the audience, which doesn't mean you have to pander to the audience. But, if your 9-minute jazz odyssey has had them chatting the whole way through it for the 6th gig in a row, it might be time to just put it out to pasture and enjoy that one at soundcheck, Meanwhile, if you do put up something that you like and it really strikes a chord, well, maybe do a little bit more of that, Try and listen to the feedback. It's not easy to take, and which isn't to say, spend all your time obsessing online about what those crazy people are saying about you. That's not necessarily healthy either. But just that middle ground, you know when it's coming off the middle of the bat.
The first couple of artists that I managed, in hindsight, I just got way too personally involved in and felt responsible for absolutely everything that went on in their lives, and it's not healthy at all. You do need a bit of distance to be able to make, you know, good decisions. And then the other important learning thing was watching Spinal Tap, which I recommend to everybody.
Or as we call it, This Is Your Life.
Exactly.
Pond5.